computer. Okay, so we will just shrink people down and we'll start the PowerPoint. Okay, so the whole idea behind all of this is because doTerra has been around now for approximately 15 years, and a lot of us started, back 10, 12, 13 years ago. But then there's also a lot of people have come in and joined up to what we're doing in the last couple of years, and they've missed out on what us lucky ones that started a lot earlier were able to be able to be part of what we're doing. So what we're going to look at is going in and just have a bit of a background to what doTerra is all about, and then go through what we're doing. So one of the main things I like to look at with doTerra is the way that they help the people that we source our products from. So what's the purpose in what they're doing, and what is actually being involved? So we don't own much land at all as doTerra. So as in saying it is the company, don't own much land at all. So what we do is we go to the places that grow our products the best. So it'd be like, I live down here in Tasmania. To try and grow mangoes here is near impossible. But if I went up to Queensland, they can grow mangoes. So down here in Tasmania, we're paying $5 for a mango. In Queensland, you're probably paying $2 for a mango. I'm not sure about the prices, but we send our blueberries and our cherries and our apples up to you guys because that's what grows well down here. Same thing with doTerra. They want to bring in different products. And because of that, I've just been told someone's in the waiting room, but I can't. Sorry, we do have someone. I'll just bring them in. Sorry about that. And so we bring those to be able to produce those products. We go to those different countries. We support those people in those countries to grow exactly what we want. So then we can actually have the best products. So we're actually empowering those people on that side of the bottle to have a better life, to be more self-reliant. And then we come along and we help other people to be empowered to be the best that they can possibly be, to help them, if they want to build a business. And that breaks that cycle of all of the issues that we've got in that. So sorry, I'll get this going. There we go. So by doing that, it's what we call co-impact sourcing. So we want them to be able to sustainably look after their property, which means that if we help them to grow the best they can, then we're actually making sure that they can actually have the products without chemicals and all those sorts of things being put into it. And then we pay them on time to be able to do that. So when we actually look at the map, we're in well over 45 countries now. We're producing well over 250 different products, and they are coming from all over the world, not just from like America or those sort of places. So that's the beauty of what we've actually got in being able to do that. And that is one of the main reasons why I love working with a company that is supporting all the different people. So we're not just an oil company. We also produce a lot of different products so that we can actually look after ourselves and our bodies at the same time. I'm just going to have to remove, close the picture of everybody. I do like looking at your faces when we're talking on this, but it's covering up my screen, so I can't see what I've actually written. So what we want to, one of the main things we want to be able to do is help you choose what products actually work for you the best. And then to help you to understand how to use your products, and also how we can own our own health in what we're doing, and also how we can pick new products to try. And that's what we're going to be looking at tonight, and how we can help with that. So the first thing we want to look at is what's preventing you from living your most active life? What's preventing you from doing that? Now, it could be because we're lacking in energy. It could be because we're lacking in sleep. We've put on a bit too much weight over winter. Our mind's really struggling because there's toxins and things going through our heads, which then work on our mood, which then creates a lot of stress in our life. So that's what we're going to be looking at tonight, and going through one or two of these over tonight, and then over the period of time we'll go on to the rest of them. So what we're going to look at is what we call a wellness pyramid. Now, this wellness pyramid goes through the different stages in what we need in our life to be the best that we possibly can. Now, I know you're probably going to struggle to see this, but this is the sheet that we normally put out so that we can go through it. So what I'll do is, for those that have got their phone and have what we call a QR code, I'll leave this up for a minute or two. You can click on this on the screen with your phone and be able to bring up that page that was on before, and you can go through that yourself or print it off and write it out loud. What I might try and do is put the link to this sheet also on the Facebook page, so that you can actually go on and actually print this out yourself.
Hey, Jace.
Yes?
That takes you to a catalogue, not the thing.
Oh, really?
It's a sleep and essential oils catalogue. Yeah.
Right. So they've put the wrong one in here. Thank you for the feedback. That's great to know. So we'll hang on to that one for the sleep one when it comes up. All right. So what I'll have to do is try and get this the printout of this for you, so you can print it out, fill it out, and work through it as we go through the different series over the next coming nights. All right. So as you can see, we're not just an oil company. Even though this has got 5 different oils in it, we have lots of different products that can help with your lifestyle. We've also got lots of different oils that we can choose from. We're going to have a look at a few different ones tonight. We have cleaning products. So this is an amazing hand wash. Even though I love the oils, I do a lot of mechanical stuff. This is absolutely brilliant for getting the grease out of your hands if you're doing mechanical stuff. We have dishwashing liquids and dishwashing powders for our dishwashers and things like that. So another thing we're going to look at as we go through the program is what is the best way to purchase your products. So sometimes we just want to do a one-time order, but the smartest way I've found over the last 10 years is to go onto what we call a loyalty reward program, where if we do that, this morning I just actually spent 300 points in sending some products to my wife who's in Melbourne at the moment, which saved me quite a lot of money by able to do that. So that we're going to look at things like that tonight as well. There's 3 types of people that are involved with doTerra. Customers, the most important people in what we do here. We need customers to be able to keep a business alive, to help those people that are growing the plants for us. And we're looking at over 80% of people are simply customers as part of this. And you're more than welcome as part of the group that we have here. We have people that just like to share with other people what benefits they've received, and they've shared with other people. And then we have people that are what we call builders, who like to build a business out of this so that they can cover the expenses of day-to-day living, whether they pick up $300 or $400 a month, or whether they pick up $5,000 or $6,000 a month. that is all depends on how much you want to do this as a business and what you do each day. So the first one we want to look at is reducing toxicity in our bodies. This is a really, really important part of why doTerra do what they do. They grow the plants in places that reduce as much as they can any toxicity that is involved with it. And even lately, they've even just removed one of the shampoos that they have because they've realized that, and we're talking 12 months ago, that one of the particles that are in the shampoo wasn't 100% as clean as they would have liked it to be. So they've gone, right, we're going to stop doing this. They get oils delivered to them from different growers and say, would you like to purchase our oils? They test the oils and they find that is not 100% correct, and they turn it away and get them to sell that to other oil producers. doTerra will only sell what doesn't have toxicity in it. Now, if you look on the bottoms of your bottle and go into a thing called Source to You, it will tell you exactly what is in the bottle that you are holding, because every single batch of oil that comes in gets tested, gets analyzed, and then that all goes into a system that you can actually look up yourself and see exactly what is in your bottle. I find that absolutely amazing. As a bit of a nerd when it comes to chemistry, I love looking them up and seeing exactly what's in them. And just as a little side point, peppermint that's harvested at the beginning of the season to peppermint that's harvested at the end of the season is slightly different. And you can sometimes smell the difference when you're going through a lot of peppermint like we do. You can actually smell the differences between the bottles just slightly in the notes. Okay, so what are we looking for in the toxicity? Why do we find that so important? Any substance that places undue stress on the body. Now, every time you fill the car up with petrol, you smell that fumes coming in. Every time you go into the shopping centre, if you're going into the middle aisles of a shopping centre, there is going to be a lot of toxins in there. Now, the TGA approve an enormous amount of toxins to be allowed to come in our drinks and foods. If you pick up a can of Coke, or if you pick up I shouldn't name things being recorded, but if you pick up a can of drink and it says that it is low sugar, no sugar, all of those, it's going to be full of toxins. The sprays that they spray on the fruits and vegetables is just incredible what comes in the sprays. So what we're looking at is how can we reduce that toxic load? Because when you get toxins, you end up with inflammation. When you end up with inflammation, then you get sick. So we've got to try and reduce that load. So how can we do that? Why isn't it going again? There we go. Sorry, I really need a dual screen. I've got people coming in from different angles. When we get toxins coming through in our body, then we get cravings for unhealthy foods. Who loves going past a bakery? The bread's fine, but the donuts aren't, because they're covered in sugar. But that smell of the bread cooking pulls you into the bakery, and next thing you're doing is grabbing that toxic food. Excess consumption of alcohol. Alcohol is a poison. Alcohol, so beer has lots of different chemicals in it to make it, because if you make beer properly, it takes weeks to go through the fermentation process. If the power goes out of the beer company, they're producing beer in 2 days after the power comes back on. How can they do it? They've got to put the chemicals in there to make it work properly, to be able to make the beer at a fast pace. So alcohol consumption. We've got to look at what we're having. Breads and stuff today are made differently. So it creates bloating and irregular bowel movements and all of that sort of thing. The toxins produce lots of stress because our levels in our body change on a regular basis. This then produces fatigue. Then we've got things like chronic fatigue syndrome. Then we end up with skin issues and all of that sort of thing as well. Now, I worked in an engineering business. My skin was absolutely horrific when I was there because of all that grit and grime that came through. For 19 years of working as an engineer, came through my skin. I was taking all those toxins and fumes into my body on a regular basis. So what do? As we go out, we go and put things on our skin. We're told to put sunscreen on. We're told to put, all these different chemicals on our face to make us look beautiful and those sort of things. What happens? We're absorbing all of that into our bloodstream. So what are we going to do? Start learning how to read labels. I've got an amazing app on my phone. I'm not told to promote this app at all, but it's called Yakka. You put that on your phone. When you go in there, scan the things. 99% of the things that they scan with that, they've done a very good job of putting that together. 2 or 3 things I've picked up on that I've gone, yeah, that's okay. But it's a good thing to be able to learn how to read the labels. Move everybody up there. So what we're going to look at tonight is we identify some things that have got toxins in them and how do we ditch them and switch to something that's going to be far more natural. So we've just picked out 5 of the favorites. These are 5 of my favorites. There's one more called frankincense in there that I would love to add into there, but this is what they've put together for us, is the 5 favorites. So we're going to have a quick look at these tonight and then move on to looking at how we can help with sleep as the next thing. So the first one of all is the lavender. One of the first oils that I purchased when I first joined up with doTerra, because it is amazing for the skin. It's a really light and relaxing aroma. Now, it comes from the flower, not from the stem. Why is that? A lot of them just put everything in and get the oil from a short bit of the stem and the flower. The stem is actually quite toxic. The flower has the beautiful perfume to it. And this is why a lot of people say, oh, I'm allergic to lavender. Probably not. You're probably allergic to what was in the stem on the one that you tried before. This is the beauty of understanding what doTerra does with their oils. Okay, so it's a beautiful soft fragrance. It's really well known for relaxing the mind. Now, when we look at a plant, the flower is on the extension of the plant. So it's on the outer part of the plant. The extension of the human body is the head. This is what does to help relax the mind. Doesn't help you go to sleep and relax the whole body. It slows the mind down so that the brain can settle down to help you to go to sleep. That's what I love about it. It's for reducing stress because it's all to do with the brain. It's really, really good for the skin. Now, most people don't realize it is fantastic for sunburn. If you burn your finger putting something into the oven and you touch the element, bang, whack some lavender on it. It's really good for burns. Also fantastic if you get a bit of sunburn. Down here in Tasmania, I find I burn extremely quickly through the summertime compared to when I was living on the mainland for the first 40 odd years of my life. So I find putting a little bit of lavender in a squirter bottle, spraying it onto my skin when I come in, relieves that sunburn. So absolutely beautiful for that as well. Lemon oil. This is a really uplifting stimulant oil for me to support, getting the brain to work in a more, how do you put it, uplifting way. Again, where does the lemon grow on the plant? right out on the ends of the branch. So when we're talking about on the ends of the plant, it's all to do with the head. So it's really good for doing that. Now, I personally like to put 1 or 2 drops of this in a glass of water first thing in the morning. First thing I do is I drink a glass of water with a drop of lemon in it. Either lemon or lime or grapefruit is my choice. Lemon was the first one that I got in my first kit. As I started with using the oils, this is what I put in. Why is this? Because it helps to go through the whole urinary tract and cleanse it first thing in the morning. It's going to go through and do that cleansing for us. So I love to use it as a drink first thing in the morning to drink. What's it help with? Enhances the immune system function. Okay, so this is a really good one for cleansing the body to be able to do that. Again, helps with stress. If you diffuse it, it's a really nice one to be put together. Could possibly help with the cold or a flu, and also to rub into the joints with mild arthritis. It may help with that as well. Now, and peppermint, this is the most invigorating one of my favorite oils. Whenever I'm introducing someone to the oils, this is the one that I bring them to, because it is so powerful at opening up the airways. So little drop in the palm of the hand, rub your hands together, put it over your mouth, breathe in, take a nice big deep breath so it goes down into the lungs, opens up all those airways. What's a critical way to help the immune system of the body is lots of oxygen getting into the blood, into the blood. So if you're struggling with breathing, this time of the year, we have lots of different flowers and stuff around. As the wind picks up, we start to cough and sneeze and wheeze. Peppermint is absolutely amazing. Now, what I love to do is I love to add the peppermint, the lemon, and the lavender together, and we have a really good way to help our histamines to be relieved. So by adding those 3 together, couple of drops in a glass of water or rubbing it on the chest, amazing way to help with histamine issues. So it's traditionally used as an aromatherapy. Amazing for rubbing on around the neck on a really hot day. It cools you down and it relieves the tension that you can build up in your neck and your shoulders. I like to rub it even on my knees as well. This is an oil that is in what we call our ice blue. It's an amazing rub that you can add, but this is one of the oils that are in amongst that. So again, we see also peppermint is fantastic for reflux and digestive issues. It's a really good one to put a couple of drops in a glass of water if your bowels are really struggling sometimes too. Tea tree, here we have an Australian oil. This is an oil that we produce here in Australia, so it's absolutely fantastic for Australia, and is known for its purifying qualities. Its aroma, it says that freshens the air. I don't know about freshening the air. It's a choice of people, but it is really fantastic for cleansing. Now, if you're like me and wear boots fairly regularly, we're on a little farm over here, and I'm always in boots, and they get a bit wet sometimes, and then they get a bit smelly. A couple of drops of tea tree into your boots when you take them off or before you put them on. It helps with things like fungi and all of those sort of things in your boots, and a fantastic way to keep them your boots clean and such like. So, here we go. It relieves the symptoms of nail and mild fungi infections. So yeah, there we go. It's in here. Clearing the symptoms of common colds and flus. Great one to rub on your chest with your peppermint. This is a really great one for doing that. Again, relieves symptoms of acne and dandruff. Now, a little quick story with tea tree that I've told a few people is that I put the tea tree up on the shelf, I have my shave, and then I slap a few drops of the tea tree on my face. one day my wife decided to bring in some oregano and put on the shelf, and I see some people smiling. I've picked up the oregano, put a generous few drops in my palm of my hands, rubbed them together, and rubbed it on my face. After a shave, I can assure you it is not the nicest thing to do to the cuts. I can tell you now that I think the people in the next town heard me and very quickly got the coconut oil and smothered my face in coconut oil. About 4 or 5 days later, my wife pats me on the face and she said, "Oh, it's smooth as a baby's bottom. Can you do it again?" I reckon it took a layer of skin off. But anyway, that's just a little slight diversion. Tea tree is absolutely fantastic as an aftershave, and there's a lot of lessons to be learnt with using oils. For those that don't know, oregano is one of our very hot oils, and you never apply it to your skin in a big amount like that. And we'll go through them, through our different oils as we go through and talk them through. So wild orange, sorry, On Guard is our next oil. And again, this is a really good one to have in your house for cleaning any anything on your benches, for cleaning in your kitchen, your bathroom, your toilets. This is an absolutely amazing product for doing that. I personally like to take 1 to 2 drops of this of a morning after my lemon oil in my water, just as a way to protect my body, because it's got the hot oil of the clove in it. It's also got the beautiful wild orange essential oil in there, which gives that protection for our body as well. This is a no-brainer one to actually always have on the shelf at home and try not to ever run out of it. Because if you do get a bit of a cough or a cold or a flu, this is an amazing way to, I personally found, to clear a cough or a cold. So how do we use it? Here with lemon oil, it's really refreshing in the diffuser, or put some drops in a spray bottle and spray down your bench tops for cleaning the surfaces at home. So it's an absolutely amazing oil for doing that sort of thing. All right, we have a massive range of different products, and this is where we can swap in and swap out with what we're doing. As I mentioned, the peppermint is in our ice blue. We've got our Virage and things, so we're not putting it all over our skin, the different toxins over our body. The new dry shampoo, we've only just started using that, and I am loving that already. The deodorants that we have, we've got Balance in them. We've also got 2 or 3 other different types. I'm just trying to remember the names of them. And as your perfumes, we can use Cheer and Passion. There's a large range of different roll-ons. I personally like the wood oils with Whisper, although Whisper's getting hard to get hold of now. So how do we get the toxins out? We choose 1 or 2 things each month and put them in our order to move from the toxic things that we have in our house to the non-toxic things that we have in our product range. So that's to do with toxicity. Now we'll have a look at the next one. We'll have a look at, so we'll just go through 2 tonight, just for time's sake, is how do we get the best routine to sleep. Now, why I love this one is part of the reason why I actually really took off with this as a business is because our 14-year-old son had massive issues with sleep. And I came across a product called Vetiver, and then came across a product called Lavender Peace, and really ran with that as what I worked with. So this is one that I really do like to look at. So remember when we used to sleep when we were tired? Now we go to sleep, we crash because we've had such a massive day, and we're trying to get better sleep. So remember what it was like to wake up refreshed. this is the big issue with not having proper sleep, is that sometimes it really impacts on what we're doing. So I'll just shrink that down so that I can see my screen. What does it does? It impacts on our memory. As we get older, we wonder why our memory's struggling. If it's toxins, if it's lack of sleep, we're really going to struggle with it. And then if we struggle with it, then all these other things become a problem. Our reproductive system really becomes a struggle. Our mental state becomes a problem. Our appetite and our metabolism is affected by our sleep. Or something I learned in latter days is that, you know, your metabolism really relies on you sleeping properly. Working. There we go. 70% of the problem with sleeping is related to what? To our environment around us. So if we can't get our sleep to work properly, then we've got to look at what is around us that's causing that. And what we know, sleep is important for the immune system. Why do we get sleep? Why do we get sick? If we don't sleep properly, our immune system really struggles. It's all to do with how our heart works. If we're not getting proper sleep, our heart struggles. Okay, it impacts the cells of our body, and research has shown that sleep 6 or more hours a night has a much healthier heart than those that sleep less. We're seeing a lot of heart issues going on around us today. Okay, what are the different types of sleep? So first of all, we go into a light sleep as our body starts to shut down, our heart rate slows down, our temperature drops. Then we finally get into repairing the body. Now, as our body goes through the repair, that's when we go into a deep sleep. Now, if we don't go into a deep sleep, then our body doesn't repair properly as we go through. How much should we be sleeping? This was a real eye-opener to me. At school age, 10 to 11 hours a night. I don't think my children ever got that, or still don't get it. I've still got 2 at school. So I've got to look at how I can get them to have better sleep. And then as we become adults, 7 to 8 hours a night. I personally probably am struggling to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, even at the moment. So this is something that really is impacting my life and something that I'm looking at more and more. So how do we get to sleep a lot better? Okay, so this, if we haven't got the QR code, this is probably not going to work for you. So I might just jump through that one. So how can we get better sleep? So one of the first things we can look at is we need to eat whole foods. So fresh fruit and vegetables. We need to be eating that and limiting how much sugar we're taking in. So we need to limit the amount of sugar that's coming in. Sleep and hygiene. Do we have quality bedding, and do we keep the noise down around us? Nap briefly. So 5-minute power nap, 15-minute power nap, that's fine. But if we're going and having 2 hours sleep of an afternoon and then wondering why we can't go to sleep, maybe we need to look at why we're doing that. Creating a routine going to bed. What's one of the main routines that I'm focusing on here in my family at the moment is, where do we charge our phones overnight? Are we charging them next to our bed, or are we charging them out in the lounge room? Do we do the same thing on the weekends? Saturday for me is the sleep-in day. So it's something, now that I've got calves here, I have to go and feed them each morning. And suddenly I'm realizing I'm feeling a lot better because I'm getting up at the same time every morning. So this is something that's been good about moving over to here. Using your bedroom only for sleeping, not laying there and playing on your phone or your iPad or whatever you're using. Avoiding caffeine 6 to 8 hours before bedtime. That's a real struggle because I like to have a coffee at at lunchtime. And then I go, is at 8 hours then to bedtime? Well, it's only just. In avoiding large spicy meals before bedtime. I love to cook with spices. I personally love cooking, and this is something that I love to put my paprikas and all of those sorts of things in. So I've got to look at how I adjust that in my life. Exercise regularly. Since being here, exercise hasn't been an issue. But for a lot of people, it can be an issue is to get that regular exercise in to be able to do things properly. Okay. Exposing yourself to bright lights in the morning hours. One of the beautiful things that we've found here is having the window to our bedroom is facing basically directly north. So we get woken up first thing in the morning. If you can't sleep, get up, come out into the lounge room, keep the lights down low, and do something that's going to exercise you so that you can go back to sleep. Okay, so what are some of the things that we can do from a doTerra point of view to help with our sleep? Is applying the lavender peace stick. This is one of the first things that I came across in doTerra. This has been amazing to help my son. Is by applying this to his neck and diffusing it in his bedroom of a night, using copaiba as a massage to the back and the feet. Now, copaiba works on the nervous system. So if we're really restless when we're trying to go to sleep, copaiba is a fantastic way to relax that restlessness in the legs and in the arms when we're trying to go to sleep. Make yourself a cup of tea and add maybe a drop or two of some chamomile or some spearmint oil to your cup of tea to help with it. Try and keep the room cool. If it's hot, it's really hard to go to sleep. And white noise, so turning off things that are around you that that electronic and things like that as well. So what is the stick like? Assess your sleep. Do you find scenarios of what helps you go to sleep and what doesn't help you go to sleep? So if you're stressed out going to sleep or your brain's going flat out, does that stop you from going to sleep properly? Incorporate the products in your sleep kit and track your results for the month. So that piece of paper that I was going to get you to print out that has that tracking on it. Actually, if you use that one, if you can pull that one up on your screen, you'll find that that's the one that we had it earlier by the looks of things. It's looking at the same pattern to me. So, yeah, just try and work with that one. Okay, so what's the stick that we're just talking about? The valerian stick just came in the new convention kit that we've just had. It's now also available now to purchase. Now, this has got the lavender piece in it, so it's got our lavender to help the brain to slow down. It's got wood oils in it to help the body to slow down, because as we talk about the tree, the trunk, that is the way that the trunk of the tree is what is the body, so it helps to relax the body. And then we've got the new valerian oil in there, which also helps with getting the brain to slow down and to relax. Okay, what are the benefits from it? It's got that really calming to the brain in the stick. And as I said, the wood oil's in there. Try rubbing it on the bottom of the feet so it absorbs up through the body. I find that to be the best way for me to rub it on the bottom of the feet and let it go up through the meridian lines so that we can work well with it. Okay, so as I said, we've got the lavender, the hoe wood, the chamomile is in there, and then the vetiver. Now, the vetiver is a really deep-rooted plant, which is really good for grounding. So for those people that are hyperactive, ADHD, vetiver is just the most amazing oil for that. As we know, the Roman chamomile tea is fairly regularly used for that relaxing. So 4 amazing oils inside that lavender piece stick. So what is valerian? This is a beautiful new essential oil that's just come out. So we've gone from some older oils now to some newer oils. The valerian it's a really soft oil, so for that relaxing of the brain. How can we use it? It is in the diffuser, or rubbing it on the neck or on the bottom of your feet. Yeah, it's sepioterpenes, is known for its soothing properties. So yeah, just pronouncing, I think that's spelt incorrectly, just to be honest with you. Okay, here's some blends that go with it beautifully. So, okay, we can get our lavender piece oil, which doesn't have it in it, whereas the stick does. We can add it to that lavender piece oil, add a citrus oil with it. So I like to put grapefruit or tangerine with it. They've got there the wild orange. So we can add that to our diffuser overnight, or with, again, a wood oil, and the bergamot is the leaf of the plant. So putting them together are just 2 beautiful ways that we can put them in our diffuser and share that throughout the house when we're trying to get everyone to relax and go to sleep. So I'll just stop sharing my screen now, because that's going into the next one, which leaves us with a couple of minutes that we can chat and go through that. So if anyone wants to ask any questions on tonight or how we can order, there's a couple of faces I don't recognize on the screen. So if there's anybody that is brand new to doTerra and would like to ask any questions as well, if you want to get any of those oils, get back to the person that invited you to tonight, and then we can help you out to get some oils for yourself. Otherwise, I'll stop the recording now and we can ask some questions if we like. Where do we?
I have one, Jason, which just for you to confirm.